For the purpose of successful living. Y'all can't find my button back there? Because y'all just losing me already this morning. I hit the floor. We should be ready. All right, y'all may be seated. Deuteronomy. We're missing the low end, probably on the monitor. This is what happens when you go live and you don't do your proper prep work. Y'all have it? Deuteronomy 1:28. Is that it? Y'all not familiar with the Bible?
Numbers 14:37.
Numbers 14:37.
Even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord.
Okay, that's one. That's not the answer one, but that's okay. They brought up an evil report. Here's what I want to talk to you in brief about quickly is stop being distracted by the mixed report. Stop being distracted. Stop. Part of the process is dealing with the confusion. When you start to move, if you go back to the verse, I think is 1:8, where God tells them to go up. God can give you a plan, God can give you a vision, and you literally let people talk you out of it. And how many more years do you have? Now you have too much echo. How many more years do you have to give to people who can't give you anything to move you forward? How many more years do you have to give to a job that cannot meet your financial obligations? Because one of the things that have befooled people and profound people is they continue to think that they have time. And as I've shared with you all before, the little girl that came up and told me she had planted a plum tree, and we talked about planting an orange tree. See, what happens to a person is you see what you want to do, but you don't see how long it's going to take to get it done. I'm going to say that again. You all can take them in the back. You have to understand the fact that you see what you want to do, but you don't see how long it's going to take. No, you can just come on right through here. They done messed up my service. My grandson's one of them too. Don't try to act like you're innocent now. Just come on through and take them on in the back. They boys, they alive. That's life right there. That's life. You don't whoop life. You just move it around. That's life. They don't understand. They see big room. They want to play. I mean, you know, they not like little man in the back. Right now, he just chilling. He look at his grandma head. He probably start fussing like, yeah, you done messed me up the whole rest of my life. Ain't nobody gonna want to date me because of my forehead. You done messed me up. I appreciate the complexion, but you done messed up my head. See, you can literally have a goal and a dream, but what you don't see and what you won't study is the preparation to be able to obtain that goal and that dream. And it's not your wants, it is your process to application. So I come and cut the organ off. Y'all act like y'all can't remember nothing when I come down here. I don't need all y'all spooks and stuff to be over here playing the organ right now. I need an organ player so we can roll all that. Because when I hit the floor, I only have a certain amount of time. And when I hit the floor, I need my folk to be focused and I need things to be in place. I can't be server and teacher. I did that before I came. I vacuumed this morning, so don't think I'm high-minded. I vacuumed. The other church I was at, the vacuum cleaner was right there, and nobody came and got it. I vacuumed this morning. So when it's time for me to do my job, I need to do my job. So hopefully we'll get better. Because what happens is you defect from the instructions of God because of the noise of the people. And so what God sees is that you're trying to put more into people than you are into your inheritance. This is why the Bible says, I swore unto your forefathers. See, you allow people to tell you that you don't have value. You allow people to tell you don't have value because of the pigment or the type of color or ethnicity that you are, whether it's male, female, whatever. You have allowed people to talk you out of your inheritance. Now, here's what's crazy. When you look at it from a biblical standpoint, God said that I swore to you the land. But what people doesn't realize and what people doesn't study is that you're made from the land. If you put nothing in yourself, then you can't produce nothing. So you have dreams that are still lying dormant because you're trapped by the voices of other people. This is where low self-esteem has been birthed, because low self-esteem is a theory that I need you to make me feel good about myself. So then I feel empty. I don't feel like I'm adequate because of my shape, because of my size, because of my color, because of the shortness of my hair, or because of the shape of my head. You allow those things, and those things have nothing to do with your inheritance. Now, you believe in prophets, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but people try to prophesy to you stuff that God has already spoken decades over your life. And I said this in the first class. Everyone, and I'm going to keep saying it, I don't know why I keep saying it, everyone needs to have a will or a trust. If you ask the professional preference, it should be a trust, because the will can be challenged. But see, here's the problem. A trust can't be challenged. I have a trust because I know my folks, and I know my folks' folks, and I know my folks' folks. And I do have a penny, and I know somebody coming to get that penny. So I need a trust. I have a penny. They got friends. I ain't gonna tell you how many friends they got, but they got friends. And so you're so busy, and that's part of the issue, that you don't see the value that you have. Because you won't take the time. So you'll take the blessing, but you won't take the time to ensure the blessing. And the Bible says, I think it was Rebekah, whom his mother, the prophet, had told her this time next year. So her son, when he was born, he knew his inheritance, that a prophet had spoke him into existence, because she had not had a child. And back then they wanted male children. And he said, this time next year, you'll be with child. And that was Rebekah. And Rebekah said, write the vision. See, now I want to say something to you, and I'm going to let you go. You want God to add to you, but you haven't valued what God has already given to you. You don't value the seed, because we're trapped in confusion. We're trapped in chaos. We're trapped in racist stuff. We're trapped in the color of my skin. We're trapped in I'm too short, I'm too tall. That has nothing to do with your inheritance. So I would question why God would add anything to a person that don't value the things that they already have. This is why people don't take care of homes and apartments and places, but they think if they get something big. Now, I think is it verse 28 where they saw big stuff, but they couldn't handle big stuff. Is that verse 28? Read verse 28 real quick.
Deuteronomy 1:28. Whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our hearts, saying.
See, now here's the whole point. It's always somebody close to you that's going to do more damage to you than somebody that's not around you. I'm going to say this is going to sound crazy. You got to watch who you trust. You got to watch, because sometimes people will fool you to use you. And they will make you forget about your inheritance to focus on their inheritance. but they never have anything to share with you. Is this making sense? Come on and read.
The people is greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to heaven.
Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? You can go in certain neighborhoods and know what you think kind of people. You'll see a gate and think you don't supposed to. You'll look at the house too big. Got too much yard. Why are you praying if you don't expect an abundance of blessings? What are you really working for? You working to survive or you working to live? You working to struggle. Okay, I get it. Because poverty, see, here's the thing people never get. You can go all the way, if you get a chance, go ask your Bishop T.D. Jakes. Poverty is a spirit. It doesn't belong to a certain race of people. It belongs to those who choose to walk with that spirit. Yeah, just because you grew up in poverty doesn't mean that's your destination. Just because you grew up in a small house or an apartment or a trailer does not mean that's your destination. Until you get a greater exposure, your mind cannot expand. And so God had prepared them 7 generations. Somebody let them down. Your children, your grandchildren. See, here's the whole thing. And this was not a part of my agenda today. Here's the whole thing. If you see struggle, what do you think they see? Because your son, you're the best he's got. Your daughter, you're the best she's got. And if you accept struggle and you accept poverty, you have just sealed their fate. You know why? You left them in hope. You just hope it gonna get better. They don't have nothing to work with. They have no substance. You left them. I don't know what's wrong with them. Where was their example? I wrote earlier, it's up here. God hears the complaint, but can he find an example? Out of 6 million plus men, history says it was 6 to 8 million men. They didn't count women and children back then. And you let somebody come in and knock you off the road. Here's the thing. That will happen. But since you're off the road, who's keeping you off the road? You're keeping yourself off the road. What does that mean? You let one moment affect the rest of your life. You let one failure affect the rest of your life. And then all you need is the choir. Come on, read the choir. Verse 28.
Whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our hearts.
So you know who they are. These people who are holding you back, you already know. To see, you used to people talking crazy to you, but you're not used to people informing you. Information should start the drive to move forward. Because you already think whatever it is that's out there, it ain't for you. And here's the thing that ticks me off. If I had half of your gifts, baking pies, I'm looking at you. baking cakes, I'm looking at you. Making baskets, I'm looking at you. If I had half the gift y'all's had, I have more pennies than I got right now. But see how y'all been programmed, and I'm saying y'all, how y'all's been programmed, is to hate the one that has a penny, rather than learn how they got the penny. Because it ain't the person, you want the penny. So people who can teach you the most are the people you probably dislike the most. Because they don't talk poverty. They don't talk stupid talk. See, where you're living in hope, they're living in preparation. And if you're living in preparation, they deal with process. If they deal with process, they got to deal with ingredients. If they deal with ingredients, they have to deal with substance. You dealing in hope. You just sitting on your front porch with your 4 teeth and your peace pipe, and you just hope the world gonna change. And so you're praying to God because you have big ideas. And listen to what happens when your big ideas come before.
Whither shall we go up, our brethren, have discouraged our heart, saying, the people is greater and taller than we.
Listen, why you always want to beat up people shorter than you? See, it's easy to run over people that don't know much, second grade kids. Well, they said thug. What does thug mean? It's easy to, but see, can I make it plain? For what you want is coming with a challenge. Mama can't do for you. Mama did the best she could. You gonna have to grow up. You can't be mama. You can't be daddy. You gonna have to grow up and learn how to use the wisdom that they put in you. Mama can't fight this fight for you. Daddy can't fight this. Granddaddy can't fight this fight for you. But what they can do is lead you to weapons. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. My granddaughter back there, smart as a whip. Grandpa gonna leave her the weapons. She gonna have the money. She gonna be able to go. Because grandpa says, you know what? She's smarter than me right now. And she just turned 12. So I have to invest. So that means I have to take less so she can have more to work with. So my job is to make sure that that tree produces more fruit. So she won't be there in a room with people that don't look like her and she looking like them. Because they don't speak her language. They ain't down, they actually form words and say, good morning, how are you? So my job is to make sure that she has the weapons. You're not fighting for you, your day over. You're fighting for them. And if you don't build nothing, they won't have nothing. And then when God says, I still made you a promise, and it's right there, we ain't got the mindset to get it because you don't think you belong there. Because you see yourself, because all you see is struggle. All you see is being stepped on. All you see is being walked over. All you see is poverty. But grandma made it happen. That's because they cheated grandma. They're not going to cheat me. And see, here's the thing. You can't deal. This fight is not going to be about emotions. This fight is your intellect and intelligence. And you need to get some spiritual intellect and some spiritual insight. Because you're going to need to know that you don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but you wrestle against darkness and principalities and wickedness where? So somebody's sitting in your seat. And as long as you walk around with this self-pity and this victimized attitude and this oh me, oh my, I think I'm going to die, and this hot eye and the struggle is real, you always going to be struggling. And there are going to be some people that just make sure you don't ever get out of struggle, sugar. If I had your skills, my past would be at the jockey lot. And the way you look today, I'd have my earrings on, I have my pearls on, and I have my lipstick on, and I'd be like, you need to get Fannie Mae's pie. You hear what I'm saying? If I could shine shoes like my shoe shine guy, Mr. Buddy. See, here's how I do it. I'll start out shining them, but this is the kind I am. I will teach somebody to shine them so I can open up multiple locations of shining shoes. I get me a dude from the street, I'll be like, you're going to shine. You're going to clean tennis shoes, dude. We're going to have a little solution tank because people love tennis shoes. We're going to clean tennis shoes. Because you need the substance. And you're going to have to get up because what you want is not going to come through prayer. You're going to have to take it. So this group who looked up and said it was too much, they didn't want to fight. And see, the only fight you know is with these. This is the only fight you know. The only fight you know is with your mouth, cussing somebody out. That's the only fight you know. This is a spiritual fight. You're not fighting for you, you're fighting for your inheritance. But see, people make you believe that you don't have nothing, you don't belong nothing. So you just sit up and waste all your stuff would be frozen. You barely making it out. This is why I try to tell people, I don't really want to teach finances. Not that I can't, but I got mad. Because the people I was teaching didn't get it. And the people that I really didn't want to share it with took it. Then they come back and say, you know what, Reggie? Oh, I said, what, boy? You know, we had that little conversation. We was out there building that thing there for you, boy. I said, yes, sir. He said, you know, you said something about that doggone on finances. I said, yes, sir, sure did. I done saved $15,000 off of your book. And what y'all done done? Because what I didn't know is the 4 things that was born out of that book. That God doesn't control, you control. Your thoughts. Come on. Attitude. Behavior. Focus. And discipline. And if you're not focused and you're not disciplined, guess what? Money will run through your hands. You will spend money every day and save nothing. You know why? Because you think you need all the time. So then guess what? Money never works for you. It takes a different mindset to make money work for you. So I'm going to say this again. God hears the complaint, but can he find the example? Because too many of us are trapped by the noise. Does that make sense? And so if you're trapped by the noise, then you are distracted by the mixed report. So everything that's going on in you, can I make it plain here for the last 3 minutes, surfaces and it's vomit. And you need to get it out of you. You need to get over that low self-esteem. You need to get over that anger issue. You need to get over that frightful issue. You need to learn how to get some controls in place. Because if you don't, see, because can I make it plain? Can I tell you the reason certain ethnicity groups fail? It's because you make it about you. You don't make it about the product or the purpose. So every cake you make, every pie you make it about you and what you like. If I had your skill, I would make it for what the world want to eat. If you start doing baskets, then don't do a basket that you like. Do a basket that's going to make people want to buy it. Put pretty ribbons on it. Then somebody will want it. You don't even have to like it. Because we do too much in our feelings and emotions, and this is what causes them not to succeed. Because when you do things out of your feelings and emotion, it always creates problems and trouble. And problems and trouble are the birthing place for creativity, resources, and resolution. And for what you want, and I know this is probably what you all wanted to hear today, but this is what God gave me. You first of all are going to have to get in position. And before you get in position, you're going to have to empty the closet on the things that are holding you back. Stop lying to yourself. And stop letting other people lie and manipulate you. You go back to what I said, they're stealing time. Ask me why. On the land that God has promised you, if you don't plant today, there will be nothing but still land for later. If you don't take your big mule head back to school, you're going to cap out and they're going to leave you out. Because there are people that are writing laws and things to keep people out. So it's based on qualification and recertification and certifications and skill sets and degrees. People that are educated was upset with people that were uneducated because uneducated people were making more money than educated people, and educated people had all this debt, and they changed the game. See, what you want from God is now time to qualify for it. You see, that's a word we don't like. Qualify. To qualify, you got to prepare. And see, what people have done is they play games. They'll sell you an orange, but that orange tree took 15 years to produce this first set of oranges. Why you can't plant your own? Because you want everything right now. Come on. And the Bible says, in patience. Do what? So if you're not patient, you're never going to have anything of substance. And if you always have a crack in your bucket, that means somebody always can throw a wrench in it and mess it up. I know ain't nobody gonna shout on this today, but it's what is needed. That granddaughter, that grandchild, that son, that daughter, you are their preparer. Because Big Mama didn't have a computer. She had faith. You're gonna need faith in a computer because you need to know what's going on. So you know how to design your weapons. And if you don't have a will and you don't have a trust, you might ought to consider getting one. Because why would God add? And I hear people say, well, you know, I don't have any kids. I don't have any. You got nieces and nephews. You got brothers and sisters. You can put it in a trust and let it acquire equity until somebody come along. And then you can say, for my future kids. Had a little big head boy back there. He needs an inheritance. We put emphasis in the wrong thing and in the wrong place. Am I making sense? Did I help you? I'll see y'all Tuesday. I gotta be back on the job Tuesday. All right. God bless you.